Hello there, guys. This is gonna be a little bit different episode because today I'm not gonna be talking about boats. Well, at least not entirely. I've been a War Thunder player for quite some time, mostly to help out a friend who somehow convinced me to play this game and that it's gonna be fun. Uh, well, sometimes it is. Just like in World of Warships, I'm a free-to-play player. Haven't bought a single thing and even managed to defend myself from others buying me stuff. And today I want to give you my honest thoughts about War Thunder, what does it right, where it does wrong, and how it stands in comparison to wargaming-based games. And yeah, without further ado, let's go. So for those who do not know, what is War Thunder? War Thunder is like a military sim game where you can find tanks, planes, and ships across various countries, tech levels, and historical locations. And the biggest difference between this wargaming based games is that it is focused more on the realism rather than actually having any HP and stuff like this. However, sometimes the realism goes a little bit too far when people try to win over arguments using some classified documents. However, the biggest difference between War Thunder and wargaming based games is not the arcade style of wargaming and the realistic one of gauging. It's the amount of time you need to put into the game to actually reach some more higher tier. Because in wargaming based games, I can see people getting to tier 10 and tier 11 before they actually get, 1,000 games on their account, sometimes even less if they spend money. However, in War Thunder, I'm playing it for quite some time and I'm barely reaching like 10.3 PIs with my air lineup and like 9.0 with my ground. However, there's one major thing to consider as well. In War Thunder, the grind is usually kinda enjoyable, having specific lineups and amount of tanks, planes, and ships in those lineups being kinda enjoyable to play. Whilst in wargaming titles, usually things below tier 7 or even tier 8 are usually just plain bad and you don't want to play them at all. Okay, now let's talk about the game modes in War Thunder. People probably think that if I am so much into World of Warships, War Thunder Naval would be ideal choice for me. However, I spend the least time in it. And why is that? Well, War Thunder Naval is the newest kind of addition to War Thunder itself, and it shows. It's just very boring. World of Warships just strictly has much better pacing, it's more intuitive, it's still more engaging, and well, even though the strategies are both the same in War Thunder and in World of Warships, which is sit back and kite and spawn, in War Thunder you also get the addition of, if you try to leave spawn you explode. Meanwhile in World of Warships, if you're good you can actually do something when you actually push out of that spawn. In War Thunder, usually in the naval experiences, you either do nothing and try to kill somebody for like straight up couple of minutes, and then you still got a kill assist, or you're permanently on repair, and then you're on repair again, and then you repair again, and then you die. However, I have to give War Thunder Naval a couple good points there, because first of all, the aircraft is much more balanced in War Thunder Naval and in general in War Thunder, as it's much harder for aircraft player to actually hit something, but when they actually do, it matters. For example, destroyers in this game can be one-shotted by, well, Kaga Dive Bomber even when it misses the target. So one bomb that misses a destroyer and the War Thunder can actually kill it. But well, try to even get close to this destroyer in the first place would be difficult. When in World of Warships, well, the planes are just gonna deal 2k damage when they hit, which is not even usually like 10% of this HP. And the second thing is, well, since they go for much more realism-based stuff, you can control your secondaries manually when you have them. You can control AA guns, you can control the small caliber guns, you can mount different types of ammunition, you're not restricted by that at all. So there is much less restrictions, and the general problem in War Thunder Naval lies down to, well, map design and general fight plans, because, well, you spawn, you sit in spawn, you hide, you know what I mean. But it has potential, like, it just needs some work and love from gauging. Especially when we see a recent update when they've actually added more top tier vehicles that are in this game battleships, such as Yamato, Bismarck and Iowa. But I think this is a topic for a completely different video. So if I'm not playing Naval that much, what am I actually doing in War Thunder? Well, most of the time I spend helping out my friend playing ground RB. Ground realistic battles involve tanks and planes. And just like in Naval, planes are pretty well implemented into that mode. Well, you can also spawn a helicopter on higher PRs. It's definitely better than World of Tanks. There is much more real sense of actually steering a steel machine, and it's more tactical, sometimes a little bit, better paced. Like, your armor actually works very often in lower BRs, but if you make one bad move, well, you're gonna get yourself one-shotted, because in this game, what matters is your knowledge of enemy tank, of enemy vehicle, to know where the weak spots are, and when you shoot the weak spot, well, it actually works. Okay? This game mode gives you a lot of adrenaline. The highs are great. Like when I pull off something stupid and it works, well, it gives you the real sense of chaos on the battlefield. And honestly, I quite enjoy playing on the lower tiers much more than I play on the higher ones. Like, my favorite lineup is US 6.3 because it earns me the most silver credits, and it generally consists of a couple of my favorite vehicles like the Sherman Jumbo, American Bulldog, Hellcat, and the recent thing I've won throughout while dumping a lot of Silver Lions last summer was F7F, and to be precise, the version number 3. It's a nice plane, however the only problem it has is like the camera, but otherwise it's pretty rewarding thing to play. Like, its strong lineup allows me to have fun in the game, and sometimes even get a nuke, because in this game there is something that allows you to end a ground realistic battle with a win if you're just great enough, even when you were losing this whole time. Because once you get enough spawn points, the thing you use to actually respawn during ground realistic battles, you can get yourself a nuke plane. And if you manage to drop the bomb on the battlefield, you end up with an automatic win, regardless of how many points enemy had over your team, and you can technically do it just by yourself. It's really hard, but I managed to pull it off like 16 times in my whole career. So realistic ground is something that you can just play to chill out, especially on lower tiers. Actually, enjoy lower tiers more than higher tiers. Higher tiers are filled with too many sweaties that try too much. And the last kind of battle that I'm playing in War Thunder are air battles, which is something that War Thunder I think was intentionally designed to do. Meaning this mode is actually the most polished one. And it's surprisingly chill. Like even on the higher end of the BR spectrum, it's still enjoyable. It's just I don't know, it's just a relaxing feeling for me to just zoom through the screen with very high speeds, even if I'm pathetically bad at aiming, and sometimes I crash myself. It's still a lot of fun. So when I'm a little bit too tired to play, I just hop into one of my jets or BF-109 and try to, well, outplay some enemies. Like, I just love stalling those Spitfires, man. I love stalling those Spitfires. They just keep going, keep trying. And, well, and even if you're not the greatest player, and I'm not considering myself to be one of the better players of War Thunder, I consider myself to be like pretty much average, you can still have some fun here. Okay, let's talk a little bit about other stuff than just the gameplay. Because this is also a part of the game, the UI. Well, in War Thunder the UI is very much not perfect. I want to add as a side note that at the moment of recording this video, well, Gaijin threw out a huge update when they actually updated some of the UI in battle. However, it's still lacking a lot of stuff, but it's a step into very right direction. Very often the UI in War Thunder is counterintuitive, or there is just too much stuff in there, especially when it comes to, well, finding events and missions. Sometimes I don't even realize that I'm doing a mission, and the only way that I actually know that there is an event, for example, is that I accidentally did something to trigger a reward. Yes, that's how it works in War Thunder. Meanwhile, in like wargaming based games, they're gonna shove it into your throat that there is an event even when you already checked it out. So, well, I don't see a winner here. Like, they are doing quite the opposite stuff to each other, and neither of them is good. However, I need to give props to Gaijin of actually, well, like listening to the community and doing stuff to actually help them out. But speaking about wargaming and Gaijin, you cannot miss the monetization of their game. And they are not really that different, considering they originate from similar places in the world. I think Gaijin does it a little bit better, considering just the War Thunder, while Wargaming goes for 3 different games to actually have all of those. You know, World of Warships, World of Tanks, and kinda dead game World of Warplanes. Wargaming tends to go for selling a lot of very strong premium, higher tier vehicles, premium time, and go for loot boxes and stuff like this, when Gaijin usually goes for, well, here's a copy of a tech tree, stuff but it ends like premium, and just slap on some premium bundle on it, premium account on top of it, and you get it into a pack and you sell it. What Gaijin also does is, well, they sell customizations to your tank that usually do not really matter. However, there are bushes there, which are really annoying to somebody who's not spending any money on the game. But at least they balance them so that they can actually be shot down. It still kills me. We cannot forget about ever existing bugs in both games. Whilst bugs and stuff like World of Warships usually are not that well, infuriating, they usually are not fixed for a very long time. Well, in War Thunder, it's the other way around. Very often, the bugs in War Thunder are noticeable and annoying, but they get fixed very fast. Also, since War Thunder is well, built around having planes, tanks, and ships, the sheer amount of micro bugs and small things is much higher. But there is one bug that is just forever in War Thunder, and it's volumetric stuff. You know, when you just shoot a tank and your shell disappears. Yeah, this kind of stuff, it's annoying. But, well, deal with it. War Thunder might be frustrating and confusing, and it's definitely something you can tilt on. However, I just keep coming back anyway. Mostly to have something to play with my friends, but very often just to numb my brain after playing a lot of other games and just play something where I can just blow stuff up and do not really have to worry about statistics. If you guys want me to analyze something, give some free to play advice on how to progress in this game or how to start playing War Thunder, things like this, say so in the comments. I would definitely enjoy making another video about War Thunder soon. War Thunder is not a game that I'm gonna ditch World of Warships for. It's more of, well, it has something different here, and I kinda want to experience what it gives. So, see each other another time. It's been Senpai Silent. Good luck.